Welcome to the hyper-efficient, stone-faced capital of the North. Helsinki projects images of a flawless, progressive, and radically quiet social paradise. A coastal metropolis, crowned as the gateway to the world's happiest country, where minimalist Nordic design, clean maritime air, and a legendary welfare state create a utopian urban refuge. But behind this hyper-polished, serene exterior lies a deeply clinical, unforgiving economic grid. Helsinki is structurally engineered to quietly drain your travel funds through high state taxes and highly automated monopolies before you can even process the Baltic chill. Welcome to Before You Go Travel Official. If you want to conquer the world's most expensive travel destinations without destroying your net worth, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on all notifications. Do not let the illusion of the world's happiest country blind your financial radar. Let us deconstruct the Finnish pricing matrix. To truly decode this austere coastal landscape, we must analyze its complex historic and geopolitical foundation. Helsinki was systematically redesigned in the 19th century by Russian architects to mirror the grand imperial stone style of St. Petersburg, centering heavily around the monumental Senate Square. The city evolved into a hyper-functional, sterile administrative fortress where free market competition is heavily restricted by massive state-sanctioned corporate syndicates. Today, the city center is dominated by high-end design districts and corporate department stores like Stockmann. This pristine, quiet minimalism is a highly effective psychological camouflage. It masks an incredibly rigid pricing ecosystem that leaves absolutely zero room for spontaneous, budget-friendly exploration. The clinical extraction of your travel capital triggers the exact millisecond you step off the aircraft at Helsinki-Vantaa Airport. The local transport authority aggressively markets private airport taxi shuttles and premium express transfers to incoming tourists. This is your very first amateur financial trap. The private shuttle services charge an astronomical premium for a journey into downtown. Meanwhile, the local public train network runs the highly efficient P&I commuter trains directly from the airport's underground terminal. These automated trains bring you straight into Helsinki Central Station in less than 30 minutes for the price of a standard regional transit ticket. If you try to bypass public transport by renting a private vehicle to explore the coastline, you enter a highly restricted digital warfare. Helsinki city planners have systematically engineered the downtown core to be entirely hostile toward cars. Street parking in the central zones is divided into ruthless pricing tiers, charging up to $6 per single hour, while automated speed and parking cameras enforce staggering fines calculated directly against economic brackets. Furthermore, during the long winter months, mandatory winter tire regulations and complex snow-clearing lane schedules create a logistical nightmare that can instantly result in hundreds of dollars in automated towing fees. This aggressive anti-car logistics channels you directly into the local lodging bottleneck. The accommodation market in Helsinki is notoriously narrow and corporate, dominated almost entirely by high-end regional hotel chains like Soko's and Scandic. Independent, budget-friendly boutique hotels simply do not exist within the central stone grid. A basic, compact room with minimalist Nordic furniture routinely crosses $250 per night during the peak summer cruise season. Even the hostel market is an illusion, with the very few shared dorm spaces charging rates that would buy a private luxury room in Southern Europe. To shield your travel capital from this heavy hospitality tax, you must execute a geographic retreat. Look entirely outside the central stone core and shift your search toward the eastern residential district of Kallio. Kallio is the historic working-class Bohemian sector of Helsinki, connected to the center by a highly efficient metro and tram line. Here, away from the wealthy corporate avenues, you can find private apartment rentals, alternative guest houses, and local budget accommodation for a fraction of central hotel prices, while experiencing the authentic, unedited subculture of the city. For the global workforce of digital nomads, Helsinki presents a highly isolated, passive-aggressive ecosystem. The local culture has an intense, unyielding respect for absolute silence and personal space. Independent cafes in the central Kamppi and Kluvi districts hold a fierce resistance against remote workers. They intentionally limit public Wi-Fi access, remove power outlets from walls, and enforce strict no-laptop rules on weekends to prevent freelancers from occupying tables for hours while drinking a single $6 oat milk latte. If you must run your remote digital business from Helsinki, your only free premium sanctuary is the Oodi Central Library. This monumental 3-story architectural masterpiece looks like a futuristic wooden ship docked in the heart of the city. The entire second floor is a free public paradise for remote work, offering cutting-edge silent workstations, fast gigabit internet, access to high-tech maker spaces, and recording studios completely free of charge without requiring any local citizenship or financial investment. The cultural and museum landscape of Helsinki is world-class, but it functions as a highly expensive vertical spending trap. Famous institutions like the Ateneum Art Museum, the Kiasma Museum of Contemporary Art, and the unique underground Amos Rex charge some of the highest entry fees in the Nordic region. Walking into these museums independently will instantly obliterate your daily travel budget. To bypass this cultural drain, you must utilize the Helsinki card or the National Museum card, but only after calculating your exact daily logistics. The cards only yield a positive financial return if you pack 3 major paid entries into a tight 12-hour window. If you want a world-class historical experience for absolutely zero cost, take the local municipal ferry from Market Square to the Sea Fortress of Suomenlinna. Built across 6 interconnected islands in the 18th century, this sprawling UNESCO World Heritage Site features massive stone bastions, historic tunnels, and artillery parks. While commercial tour boats charge high prices for fjord cruises, the public commuter ferry is integrated directly into the standard city transit card, allowing you to cross the historic waters for the price of a basic tram ticket. Once you return to the mainland, you must navigate your way to the iconic Helsinki Cathedral, the massive white Neoclassical church that dominates the city's skyline with its brilliant green domes. The marketing tells you to pay for expensive guided tours of the surrounding Senate Square. Do not do it. Walking up the monumental stone steps and exploring the pristine interior of the cathedral costs absolutely nothing, providing an unmatched panoramic view of the historic harbor completely for free. From the cathedral, walk toward the Katajanoka district to discover the striking Uspenski Cathedral. This is the largest Eastern Orthodox cathedral in Western Europe, constructed from brilliant red bricks with magnificent golden domes that represent Finland's complex history under Russian rule. Walking through the grand, incense-filled historic interior is entirely free of charge, offering a deep journey into 19th century religious artistry at your own pace. For a modern architectural marvel, head to the Turku district to experience the Temppeli-Aukio Church, famously known as the Rock Church. Excavated directly into a massive block of solid granite, this spectacular church is covered by a dome made of thousands of meters of copper wire. While commercial tour operators bundle this into expensive city sightseeing packages, you can walk directly to the site and enter independently during public hours for a nominal fee, experiencing world-class acoustics and raw geological design without the luxury markup. When evaluating personal safety, Helsinki is statistically one of the most secure and orderly capital cities on the face of the earth. Violent crime is extraordinarily rare, and the local police force is highly efficient, incorruptible, and trusted. You can safely walk through the quietest streets at any hour of the night with complete peace of mind. However, you must remain vigilant against seasonal environmental factors and subtle urban realities. During the crowded summer months, the historic market square, Kauppatori, harborfront, becomes a primary zone for highly aggressive local seagulls that will literally steal food out of your hands, and sophisticated pickpockets targeting distracted cruise tourists. Keep your valuables secure, protect your food, and your safety is guaranteed. Dismantling Helsinki's brutal culinary prices requires a total boycott of traditional sit-down dinner restaurants. Because Finland imposes massive corporate taxes and high minimum wages, a standard two-course dinner for two at a mid-range restaurant will easily cross $140. To survive nutritionally, you must master the local street food alternatives. Look for the traditional outdoor stalls at the market square or the historic indoor Old Market Hall, Vanha Kauppahalli. Skip the overpriced tourist bistros and order a plate of traditional paistetut muikut, fresh, crispy Baltic herring fried in real butter with garlic sauce. It is a classic, high-protein, local culinary staple that is incredibly filling and costs a fraction of a restaurant meal. To unlock the true culinary soul of Finland without the luxury markup, you must track down authentic Karelian pirakka and cold-smoked salmon. Karelian pirakka, or Karelian Pasties, are thin rye crusts filled with rich rice porridge, traditionally topped with a mixture of fresh butter and chopped boiled eggs. Avoid the expensive boutique bakeries and head straight to a local S-Market or K-City Market discount grocery store. Buy a bag of fresh Karelian Pasties from their in-store bakery, a package of pre-sliced smoked salmon, and a block of local cheese. You can assemble an authentic, high-energy Nordic breakfast for less than $8. What the glossy lifestyle luxury travel vloggers deliberately hide from you is that Helsinki operates as an aggressively cashless ecosystem. The digitalization of the Finnish economy is almost absolute. Physical paper banknotes are openly rejected by many public transit kiosks, modern coffee shops, bars, and street food vendors. If you arrive here relying on cash, you will face massive operational barriers. You must possess a high-tech debit or credit card with zero foreign transaction fees to navigate this society. Furthermore, the state enforces a strict total monopoly on all alcohol above 5.5% volume through a state-run enterprise called Alko. You cannot buy standard wine or spirits in a regular grocery store. They are only sold at specific Alko outlets that close early on Saturdays and remain completely shut on Sundays, with prices heavily taxed to discourage consumption. Helsinki is undeniably an urban masterpiece, a triumph of social engineering and a pinnacle of Northern European civilization. The absolute safety, the architectural precision, and the ease of mobility are completely real. But it is a destination that will ruthlessly erase your financial future if you follow the standard tourist track. By bypassing the express shuttles, utilizing the magnificent free workstations at Oodi, eating fresh herring at the local markets, and riding the public commuter ferries to Suomenlinna, you can shatter the Finnish price matrix, experiencing the absolute best of the world's happiest country entirely on your own terms. Subscribe to Before You Go Travel. Official right now. Would you challenge Helsinki's high-expense, cashless matrix, or do you prefer an affordable escape? Comment your smart strategies below. Safe travels.